Morning, everyone. Wanted to try something a little bit different. I've seen a lot of other people do these videos as they're driving down the road, and I'm going to give this a try. Hopefully I won't wreck in the middle of all this. You have to excuse me for looking away a little bit, making sure I don't hit anybody, and also making sure I don't say any ugly words when someone pulls out in front of me. I had a couple of things that have happened recently that I wanted to share with everyone. A lot of negative stuff I know on the internet, and we've been saying that for a long time, but I had a couple of things that happened to me personally the last week or so that I just kind of thought were cool to share. Last weekend, my parents and I and my wife Lucinda, we took a trip over to the Smoky Mountains. One of my favorite places to go. Mom and Dad really appreciate that. That was a great little trip for all of us. Had a really good time. One of the things that happened, actually the first day when we were getting in there, we kind of come in the back way and try to avoid Knoxville and Pigeon Forge and all that traffic coming into the regular Gatlinburg way. We actually ended up ahead of schedule, which is kind of unusual when you're traveling. So we decided to head through Cades Cove and check that out before we even went to the condo. And first thing there, we saw a bear hop right across the road in front of us. It was kind of cool. So that was just neat to see. Of course, loving the mountains, enjoying it all. But you know how Cades Cove is. If you've ever been there, there's a lot of stop and go. Everybody's got to stop and look at things, and heaven forbid there's a deer or a bird or a squirrel or something. Everybody stops to take a look. So we did the whole Cades Cove thing, drove that full circle, and it took a while. It was really pretty. Really a great time. My parents had never seen it during the summertime, so that was kind of cool. We're heading back, and we're heading along the road into Pigeon Forge. Into Gatlinburg, and you know that river that runs along it. Well, apparently there had been a huge thunderstorm the day before, and I have never seen that river that runs along that road that swollen and flowing and over the banks, and it was just you could almost feel it in the car, the power. You definitely could hear it. So we were driving along one of the pull-offs. I decided I needed to get some pictures of it because I'd never seen it that raging before. And pull over, and a guy that had been behind me all through most of Cades Cove pulled in right behind me, and that always kind of aggravates me a little bit. I'm a little worried what this guy's doing. Did I do something that made him mad? Is he, what's going on to have somebody pulling in right behind you like that? So I'm kind of walking towards the back of my car, and Lucinda knew I was a little bit on edge. This guy hops out, and he's just smiling and looking good, and nothing that made me on edge after that. So I kind of relaxed a little bit, and he said, "Hey, bud, just want to let you know you got a tail light out." Now, this guy had followed me from Cades Cove many miles down this road before I pulled over, but he felt it important enough to tell me that I had a tail light out. He just wanted to do something nice for someone. And he went way out of his way to help me, to let me know that my brake light, actually not my tail light, my brake light was out. And he said he'd seen it going through Cades Cove, and figured I didn't know that, and wanted to let me know so I wouldn't get in trouble with the police. So he took time out of his day just to tell me that I had a brake light out. We got chatting a little bit, a little funny story about this. He was telling me that they come down the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is kind of on my list of the places to go, and he points to the car and said, "You got to take Mama. You got to take Mama. Mama would love it." He was referring to my wife Lucinda. So Lucinda, you have a new nickname. You're now Mama. But just a real nice guy. He took some time out of his day to help me out. The other incident, some of you may have seen on my Facebook page. I was coming home on the 4th of July after running some errands and picking up some stuff at the grocery store for dinner that night. And pulling into my driveway, I noticed there's a guy mowing my neighbor's yard, which I knew my neighbor had been having some issues with his lawnmower, so I kind of figured maybe it was just his lawnmower had been acting up a lot, and he didn't have a chance, so this guy was going to help him out, or he had hired him. But because it was something a little unusual, I just wanted to take a moment to check it out. So I waved to the guy mowing, and he had stopped his mower and turned it off, and was, "Hey, how you doing?" And so we got talking, and I was just kind kind of being a nosy neighbor, I guess. I was just checking out something unusual in the neighborhood. And turns out that this guy, and I didn't catch his name, all I know is he works at the electricity department. He was good friends with my neighbor and knew that my neighbor's daughter had been in a car wreck a couple of weeks ago in Huntsville and was still in serious condition at Huntsville Hospital. So he got up 4th of July, had the day off, and was trying to think of something he could do to help out his friend. So he figured, hey, yard probably needs mowed. So he loaded up his riding lawnmower and his trimmer and just drove on over to his friend's house and got out and started mowing the yard. Now, this was not like first thing in the morning. I had been running errands all morning. This was around noon or so it was a good 95 degrees outside already. And he was just happy as he could be mowing the yard. Which I was a little embarrassed. I didn't even know my neighbor's daughter had been involved in a wreck. I'd seen on Facebook that he had asked for prayers, but that was, he didn't go into any detail, and I hadn't seen him, which isn't unusual for me not to see him, or just to kind of see in passing. But this guy wanted to help out his friend, so he got up 4th of July, day off, and decided to go mow his yard. He didn't think he was doing anything special when I asked him about that or talked to him a little bit more about it. He just kind of felt it was the right thing to do, and it's what friends do to help out each other. And I was thinking, man, there's 2 incidents where somebody went way out of their way to help someone. One was me, and then not nearly as big, just telling me my brake light was out, but he went miles out of his way to catch me and tell me. And then this gentleman who was mowing his neighbor's yard and trimmed it and everything and made it look really good. And I know my neighbor has to appreciate that because he likes his yard to look good. And I was just thinking how awesome it would be if all of us took a little bit of time every day to try to think of something to do for one of our friends or even a complete and total stranger. It just, I don't know, it just kind of touched me having those 2 incidents so close together where somebody has gone out of their way to do something just really nice for people. We're all people. We should all be trying to help each other out and doing something nice. So I'm not going to challenge you, but I'm going to try every day to think of something that I can do that'll be kind of extra special or extra nice. And we try to be nice to everybody all day, every day. But just a little something I can do for someone. And I think if we all would do that every day, this world would be a much, much better place. Kind of felt led to share that with you this morning. I know it's a little long. First time I've done this thing, kind of driving down the road. Hope I didn't bore you too much or you think it's too corny. But get out there, try and think of something you can do to help someone, and just to be nice. Talk to you later. Almost here to work now. Looking forward to a good day. I'll see if maybe I can help one of my students.